When you are walking down a hall and each room has 2, 3, 4, 6 amputees, and it's just like crazy.
After 3 years of brutal war, as many as 100,000 Ukrainians have lost limbs in battle. With so many broken bodies, Ukraine emerging as the world's proving ground for bionic breakthroughs.
Now the field is exploding.
Top surgeons from around the globe coming to Kyiv
Trust Mother Nature.
to perform and teach the complex operations required to transform the wounded
Very good result.
into warriors once again. With each software update, what was once science fiction
Terminator.
edges closer to reality. Disabled individuals gaining superhuman abilities.
He might end up with an unfair advantage playing ping pong.
Yes, I'm surprised how much can be done.
But too many still suffer in the shadows, unable to afford the life-restoring technologies. In a war that proves Einstein's warning that our technology has exceeded our humanity, the bionic revolution offers something rare, a chance to celebrate. In central Kyiv, young soldiers who've lost limbs in battle are in basic training for a fight that will last the rest of their lives. Here, they prime their minds and bodies for controlling the world's most advanced bionic technologies. Strong muscles are needed to send signals from above an amputation site to microprocessors embedded in electronic limbs.
Професійні тренери є, котрі займаються з хлопцями та готують їх до цивільного життя.
35-year-old Sergei will graduate soon.
You've been coming here for how long?
1 year.
1 year you've been coming here.
It's been a long journey. 18 months ago, Sergei, an infantry sniper, went to a besieged village in eastern Ukraine to help evacuate a wounded commander.
Танковий снаряд неподалік від мене розірвався, вбило 2 побратимів, а мені руку перебило в 4 місцях.
To save his life, the surgeons needed to sever everything below his shoulder. It's an extreme amputation that leaves no way to attach standard prosthetics. That's where the revolutionary technology being advanced here at the Titanovi Rehabilitation Clinic comes in. Sergei's friend, Anton, a triple amputee, explained to me how the bionics work.
Сергія дуже коротка ампутація. Він сигнали знімає з грудних м'язів.
Here you see the sensor.
The sensors capture microflexations to trigger gestures, some more expressive than others, he trains his mind to perform in his chest muscles. Unlike Sergei, Anton can still use his upper biceps to issue bionic commands. The hardware, a medical marvel. The sockets give the soldiers options.
Wow.
A fin for swimming. A simple rig for painting. But the touch point of Anton's independence, the arm and finger attachments, allowing him finally to hold his own cigarette
Це я перший раз закурив.
and other more deadly objects.
Are you going to kill someone?
No problem.
As for Sergei, he's not quite ready yet for a knife fight. As for what is next, a surprising answer.
What are you able to do now with this hand that makes you happiest?
Тримати зброю в руках.
It's a weapon in your hands.
Yes?
Do you want to fight again?
Yes?
Will they let you?
Я буду повертатися до війська, до своєї десантно-штурмової бригади, навчати новоприбувших військовослужбовців, як вижити. І як робити так, щоб їх так швидко не вбили.
When will you be ready to go?
Максимум 2 months.
But his bionic hand will first perform a delicate task: holding wedding rings at a ceremony for his best friend, Bogdan.
Фантомні болі.
Sergei and Bogdan met here at the clinic, a bond as strong as any formed on the battlefield.
Он уже приїхав?
I had heard about Bogdan and thought, I need to meet this guy.
Вон Богдан. Вон, я вас...
This could be a fairy tale bionic wedding story.
Богдан! Гнида ти без нога. Привіт! Знайомся, твій Кен.
Are you ready? You ready for your wedding?
Yes.
You're ready. Well, you look happy.
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 When Bogdan met his wife-to-be, Dorina, online, he had just become a soldier.
Ми познайомилися в 22-му році, вже на початку повномасштабної війни.
While on a break, he met her in person and knew then that he wanted to marry her. But before he could see her again, Bogdan's commander sent his unit on a dangerous reconnaissance mission behind enemy lines. Spotting them, the Russians fired rockets at their position. An explosion shattered Bogdan's femur. As he recovered from a severe amputation, Dorina joined him at his bedside. Within a week, he proposed to her, though the wedding would have to wait. He still had multiple surgeries to endure. This is an x-ray of Bogdan's leg after he completed multiple surgeries. And you see, one was to install this titanium in his hip that allows for him to have this technology installed. Still, flashes of phantom pain strike without warning, as happened during our interview.
То теж все просто. Ну, дивіться, кожна операція, я вже переніс 52 операції, і кожна операція – це є больно, це є дуже больно. Це ж, ну, це твоє тіло розрізають, тебе мучать.
The alternative, spend the rest of his life in a wheelchair.
How much will it change your life having the bionic leg?
Ну, я вже зможу стояти на рівні людей. В країні інклюзивності майже 0, і тепер я зможу попасти майже в будь-яке місце. Ця, до прикладу, як сходи, там, чи там кінотеатр, мені вже просто ця коляска надоїла дуже-дуже.
But Bogdan can't afford, yet, to buy his own bionic leg. He's using a loaner. It won't quite be the fairy tale bionic wedding I'd thought. He will use a wheelchair down the aisle.
Ну да, як я не маю свого протезу, я ж не буду. А на чому я маю бути?
Though funds from Ukraine's government cover half the cost, Bogdan must, on his own, raise the other $45,000.
How long will that take?
Не знаю, це залежить.
Like most of the soldiers in the clinic, he's raising funds online. He hopes wedding guests will see that the best gift they could give the couple would be a contribution.
Why did you decide to get married now?
Та скільки можна чекати вже? Все, пора вже брати діло в свої руки.
Are you excited?
Це, мабуть, сама найголовніша подія в моєму житті.
Best man Sergei wants everything to be perfect. On his Bionic Hands iPhone app, a way of controlling movement while he perfects his grip. So everything is perfect. When he delivers the rings to the bride and groom. A bionic wedding, after all, just a few days away. The quest to become bionic brings some of Ukraine's wounded 5,000 miles from the war zone to a suburb of Minneapolis. Here, a Ukrainian biotech startup is partnering with a Ukrainian-American prosthetic specialist, Yakov Gradner, to pioneer the use of artificial intelligence in advancing the bionic revolution.
Я просто візьміть, попробуйте, скільки воно важить.
Yakov and his team at the Protez Foundation equip each soldier with customized hardware, a process that requires weeks of fine-tuning. The amputees come for 3 months.
They haven't lived their life and they already sacrifice part of their body.
It's remarkable that you brought 200 people here.
Thank you.
What's also remarkable is how many people need help.
Nobody knew before such a scale of need in prosthetics. Losing a part of your body, it's like losing family member or close friend.
Ви для нас є і прикладом в тому, що як ви з свого боку кожен день працюєте.
Yakov tells me the waiting list is now up to 2,000.
I feel that I'm in the right time, in the right place, doing great things for these hundreds and hundreds of people needing prosthetic care.
Not just any prosthetic gear. The Esper hand, named after the Kyiv startup that invented it, promises revolutionary advancements.
They can now use artificial intelligence to be able to respond to patient needs.
Its AI algorithms learn from the user, interpreting muscle signals and predicting the strength needed for various grips, depending on the object. Roma, a 29-year-old Ukrainian soldier, is just a few weeks into learning to use his new bionic hand. He's bionic from shoulder to fingertip. Each day he faces both physical and mental challenges. Most of us take for granted the marvel that is the human hand. Our fingers feel the object and calibrate accordingly. But for Roma, it's a process of remapping parts of his brain.
Sometimes it's happening.
It's okay.
To make his new fingers curl, his elbow bend, and his wrist rotate. Roma's story highlights why so many of Ukraine's amputee cases are so severe.
Do you know what hit you?
I'm fighting, and one moment something happened. I see in my hand, and she is destroyed.
Roma enlisted in the army 2 days after Russia's full-scale invasion. He became a sniper. His small squad worked in teams of 2. Roma's partner, Fedor Alexandrovich, had been a member of Ukraine's national fencing team. Just before Christmas in 2023, they were sent on an operation in the gray zone, a no-man's land.
We have some contact.
Roma says they were battling Russian soldiers just 60 feet away. Russian drones attacked them, killing Fedor.
Tourniquet.
Roma, gravely wounded, managed to apply a tourniquet to himself and, incredibly, walked 4 miles to an evacuation point.
How long was the tourniquet on your arm?
Maybe 5 hours.
5 hours.
Yes, because point for evacuation for really long distance.
With your arm in a tourniquet?
Yeah.
How are you able to do that?
I have more adrenaline.
And the thought of his mother, Olena.
My mama would get at me.
Your mom would get mad at you?
Yeah, if I don't go back home.
Oh, she'd be very mad if you didn't live.
Yep.
Once at the field hospital, before the doctor even said a word, Roma knew.
Я бачив, лице доктора, перед ампутацією.
A surgeon amputated almost all the way to his shoulder. The tourniquet that saved his life would cost him his entire arm. 2 days later, his girlfriend, Svetlana, arrived at his bedside. He offered her the choice.
Ми розійдемося, я не хочу бути для тебе тягарем, А вона сказала, так, не будь дураком, не будь дурним, ми з цим всім справимося.
She got right to work, helping him figure out his options. First, they tried a prosthetic hook. But Roma, a civil engineer before the war, was determined to find and fight to be among the first, the few, fitted with advanced bionics.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not that firm.
No, because if you want harder, I change another option.
At this point, Roma needs the app to do complex gestures.
When I go to a rock concert, I will do maybe this one.
The universal rock and roll hand sign.
In the future.
With his finger movements still a work in progress, I didn't have high expectations when it came to playing ping pong. Turns out, he's making good progress with his bionic elbow and wrist.
Oh my goodness. I was not expecting you to be this good. If I were to win, people would be very upset. I'd be getting emails.
Oh, I think it's not.
I think 5 years from now,
Yeah.
you're going to be a lot better at table tennis than me.
Yeah, maybe.
Esper is trying to show Ukrainian amputees what may be possible for them: driving, painting, and fighting. Yakov says 2/3 of the soldiers who leave here go back to military service, some even into battle.
One of our patients that we fitted went back to front line and he was killed.
Was he told he had to go back, or he chose to go back?
He chose to go back.
He chose.
Sorry.
With that brutal toll rising as the war grinds on, Esper's factory in Kyiv is producing bionic hands as quickly as they can. At the epicenter of the bionic revolution in Ukraine is one of the leading orthopedic doctors in the world, Richard Brandmark. The Swedish surgeon making multiple journeys to Kyiv for what he calls Mission Impossible operations.
You should be up here.
Enabling bionic limbs to those with amputations so extreme they once would be unable to wear an advanced prosthetic, until now. He's also training Ukrainian doctors to perform the procedures themselves.
Perfect. Okay.
We met up with Brandmark in North Carolina at an annual conference of global leaders in osteointegration, the technical term for prosthetic medicine. Brandmark brings a powerful message from Ukraine's amputees: the urgent need for scientific breakthroughs.
Your colleagues here are interested in hearing your first-person perspective.
Yeah. And even if they're not interested, I'm going to make them interested. So how many degrees of freedom do I have here? 3. Come on, we need to do better.
The most pressing problem Brandmark's trying to solve: how to improve the signals picked up by sensors placed on the skin above muscles to control the bionics.
If you sweat or you use it for long, it can drop away, and when you do movements, the skin might move and you will not pick up the right signal. So that's why we started to use implanted electrodes to pick up signals. So this is how it should work.
Implanting processors inside the body, a promising possibility, but still an experiment.
You're not there yet?
No, but we're moving forward, and it's a big shift now. You should always try to aim for something that is impossible. Thank you.
You mentioned to me when we first spoke a sensitivity that you have when it comes to the work you're doing in Ukraine.
You mean in relation to experimental work?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a delicate matter. I have many amputees, and the question is, can we use knowledge from the treatment of those to further advance the treatment for others?
Without making them guinea pigs.
Yes, that's the problem.
These people are desperate.
Yeah, they do anything.
Which is why Brandmark continues going to Ukraine to train Ukrainian doctors to treat victims with the most difficult, extreme amputations, and why he continues improving upon the bionic hand he helped invent.
They need a lot of help.
On his jacket this day, he wears a pin, a symbol of honor Ukraine awarded him. Honorary military surgeon. Among his 20 operations in Kyiv, Bogdan's leg and Sergei's arm, changing their lives, and his as well.
Going there made a difference for you.
Yeah, definitely a big difference. I think about it every day.
I do too.
I was crying every time, thinking about all these young people.
At the clinic in Kyiv, it's finally Bogdan's wedding day.
Дякую!
Як би сказати, впертий, пробивний. Але тільки вона приїжджає, я стаю, як, знаєте, бусинкою. Ну, знаєте, такою маленькою дитиною.
Поранення, він сказав, давай ми краще розійдемось. Того, що в мене ампутація, ми бачилися з тобою зовсім мало. А я зрозуміла, що ні, що я залишуся з ним, і я не можу його, що я без нього вже нікуди.
2 years ago, Bogdan lost his leg, but not his hope.
Тож я прошу, побратим, Сергій.
When the moment comes to exchange wedding rings, Sergey bionically hands them to his best friend.
Загадайте бажання, яке здійсниться обов'язково, і покажіть, як засяяли ваші ручки.
The newlyweds have many wishes: for the money to buy Bogdan's bionic leg, for a future filled with love and peace. This moment, a gift of inspiration and a win for comrades battling to live normal lives of their own. Sergey, a few weeks later, would finally get the normal he desires, a return to his unit as a Bionic Warrior. The technology and Ukraine's amputees, one by one, emerging from the shadows.